Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake, and what we're going to make, well, for me at least, it's a little bit unusual because I usually don't make a cake, this large. We're going to make a very moist 12 by 18 yellow batter sheet cake. This is what they traditionally call a half a sheet. And I actually was at someone's house, tasted this cake, and it was fantastic. So I asked for the recipe, and I needed to bake a half a sheet for my church that's coming up in a few days. So it worked out perfect, and I thought I'd do the video. I do want to tell you, I did take my 12 by 18, I greased it very well, and then I dusted it with flour. Now, you might want to use your parchment paper or whatever, feel free. So let's get started. First off, you're going to be needing 5 cups of all-purpose flour, 5 cups. You're also going to be putting in a half a cup of cornstarch. And I really think it's the cornstarch that really makes this cake so light in texture. Because I'm kind of used to using cake flour really for a lot of cakes. So I was really pleased to see that I could use all-purpose and then use the cornstarch. You're going to be putting in 8 teaspoons of baking powder. That was 8 teaspoons. And you're going to be putting in a teaspoon of salt into your dry. And then I'm just going to, with my spoon, just stir it together here a little bit. And then we're going to set this large bowl aside. Okay? All right. The next thing that we're going to do is, of course, we're going to start with our room temperature butter. Now, you'll need 4 sticks of butter, which equals 2 cups. I cut it into small pieces because, again, I thought it would go a lot faster for the video and that type of thing, because this recipe is quite large. So I'm going to just break that up, and with this recipe, it's a little bit different, and I'll explain it as I go along of how it's put together. But I just want to break up that butter and cream it. Now, the next thing you're going to need is 4 cups of granulated sugar. So I'm going to start putting that in, a little at a time with the butter. I'm going to try to keep my mixer down low so it's not, too loud for you. And then I'm going to put the other 2 cups in. What happens is, on the next step, which seems a little unusual. In fact, when I first was doing it, I thought I was doing something wrong, and then it came out so beautiful. I knew I wasn't. I was doing okay. What we're going to do is we're going to need milk, of course. And what you need in milk is 2 cups of milk. Now, you're going to be putting in 6 eggs. I had them at room temperature and the milk at room temperature. And I just slightly beat them. Okay? So put that in your milk mixture. Also, you're going to be putting in vanilla. And you'll need 4 teaspoons. And then just stir that in with the milk, the eggs, and that vanilla. You don't have to be real fussy with it. Just stir that in. Okay? All right, and we'll set that aside here. Okay, this is the part that is a little bit unusual for me. I'm actually going to take the dry and start beating it in the butter and the sugar. And what I found this recipe to do, it has to come out where it looks like, that it's like little pieces, that are together, like little balls of the flour and the butter and the sugar. Of course, this recipe you definitely want to use your stand mixer. I've never attempted anything like this with a hand mixer. I think it would be very difficult, even if it's possible. And again, you want to stay with it till it comes out where it's like pieces, like that, little tiny pieces. So I want to put the rest of the flour in, but I just want to wait just a little bit before I do that. Because I do like to move the video along so it, you know, it's not so long for you folks to have to sit through this. Okay, that's the dry, and we're going to just give it a few minutes here, or not even a minute, I should say, and to get that all blended. Again, what you're looking for it to be, like I said, like little pieces, okay? All right, we're just going to stir that a little bit more here. Beat it in. Okay, now we're going to start slowly putting in the wet, a little at a time. And this is when it starts to look, you know, pretty lumpy, and you get concerned, but don't be. It really will come out nice. I'm going to raise my speed a little here. Alright, and that's the rest of my liquid. While that's mixing, I'm going to rinse my hands real quick. Now this, you do want to stay with it and beat it till it's smooth. Because you don't want, you know, lumps in it. But you don't want to overbeat it that, you know, it'll be really dense and heavy either. Okay? Now, I also like to, I put a little bit, very tiny amounts of yellow food coloring. You don't have to put it in, it's going to be up to you. If you want to, just put as much as you feel to get the color that you want. I find though not to put too much of food coloring because I think it dries out the baked goods. I really do. But it just to give it just a little bit of color. And I probably put maybe 6 drops in, that type of thing. But you be the judge of how much do you want to put in just to give it a little bit of color. And again, you don't have to even do that. It's still a pretty color batter when it's baked up without it. I'm going to raise my speed. Sorry about that. I know it's kind of noisy. I'm going to raise it again to warn you. I just want to try to move it along here. Okay, I'm going to check. I'm going to take my beater out of here and then take a look at it again. Set that aside. Let's pull this off. Okay, and clean the sides just to really, you know, get down there and look and see if it's been thoroughly mixed and combined. And I think it does. I think it looks pretty nice. There we go. If you can kind of see the color and the texture of the batter, it really does all come together. Even though that seems a little bit odd the way we put it together here. Okay, and we're going to of course pour this into our pan here. Get all of that out, and then we'll just make sure to even it all nicely into our pan. And again, this is a half a sheet. It's a 12 by 18. You're going to bake it at 325, and it's going to take you anywhere from 45 to 50 minutes, so do check them. And again, use your cake tester or a toothpick to see if it's done. And then I do like to tap it, but I don't want it to be too noisy for the video. But you know, tap your pan before you put it in the oven at 325. I'm going to quickly rinse my hands because I want to show you one that's baked up. It's unfrosted. You can use whatever type of frosting that you want to put on. I have several frostings and icings, very quick and easy ones. I have cooked frostings, uncooked frostings. So please check out my channel if you are looking or you do need, you know, a frosting for this cake. But you can see how beautifully it came up, a nice rich golden brown. And when you get it out of the oven, of course, put it on a cooling rack and let it cool thoroughly before you, of course, take it out of your pan, that type of thing. Well, there you have it. This is the largest version of a cake that I've ever baked, but I was so pleased with the baking of this and then also sampling it at a friend's house. Well, if you're looking for a sheet cake, a half a sheet cake, I think this is the recipe for you. Give it a try. If you do and you like it, leave a comment because I'd like to hear from you. Also too, you should probably get about 48 pieces out of this, or cut it again however that you want. So again, thank you for watching Diane Lovetobake. Please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you soon.